What's going on, fellow Olympians? My name is Jake here with Team Olympus, and I'm going to do a deck profile on my DANKLAW. It's time to revive these guys and, just bring them back to life, right? So, this deck is in the making, and I will be showcasing a lot of good gameplay, but I want to give you my deck profile of this. This is back 3 years ago when I used to run DDs, and I used to have like first turn DARKLAW, so that's why it's called the DANKLAW deck, and I love it. Had some funny stories. I'll tell you one funny story at the end of the day or at the end of the video, but let's just jump into it. I run three servant. The reason why you run three servant is because servant is your search, right? It's gonna let you get your dark contracts. That's the thing that you want the most, and we'll go from there, right? Then I run Necro. I run 3 Necro, and I run 3 slime. I know this one's swirl slime, but I call this one slime, and I call this one Necro. You know, it is what it is. The reason why I run these is because if this is in your hand, you can discard from your hand Necro slime and Necro and swirl slime from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, you're able to fusion summon into a DD fusion monster, which you would go in Denark, right? Because Denark is gonna make sure you're not losing life points when your contracts are about ready to charge you on your next turn. Then while Necro Slime is in your graveyard, you can banish Necro Slime and one other DD monster in your graveyard to special summon another fusion summon. So you by chance would do Denark. So you have 2 Denarks running. Then if you want to, you could go into, King Yuga. I call him King Yuga. And just at that total point, is really up to you how you want to get into it. But I usually can pull out 3 Denarks in one turn if I get the right setup, right? So let's go from there. I run 1 Evil Hero, Infernal Gainer. The reason why I run this card is because his effect is you can banish him from the field for 1 turn to target 1 fiend monster you control, and it can attack again. So it could give you 2 additional attacks. So if you have, say, 2 Denarks on the field and you're able to get Evil Hero out on the field, you can target your Denark. Your Denark now can attack twice. So you know what I'm saying? So that's a 2-for-1 special right there. I like it. I run 3 Baphomet. I might get rid of this card, but I like it because if one DD monster you control has a level exact to declare a level from 1 to 8 becomes that level. So you can make this a level 8 card, and you can XYZ into Yuga if you want, or you could just use it for pretty much just use it to wherever you ever want it. I usually use Baphomet for DARKLAW, but we'll get into that. I run 2 Leonidas. I like this card because if you're going to take damage during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you gain life points equal to the damage you took. And then that's pretty much good. Pendulum effect. When you take effect damage during this damage, you destroy this card. And then you increase the life points by the same amount instead, right? It's not really as great, but getting him on the floor is amazing because this is a DDD monster, and you're able to get into any one of these 2, right? So King Caesar, that's the boss monster. This card is nice. We'll get into that here in a minute. I like Ragnarok. The reason why I like Ragnarok is because if this card is normal special summon, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard special summon, and if you do, you can use this effect to DD King Ragnarok once per turn. Once per turn, you contribute 1 other DD monster, and then target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. Right? This card's great because right here, if it's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. If this card special summon, you can special summon another level 8 from your graveyard onto the field, which would probably most likely be him, and then himself, and then you would just go ahead and go right into King Yuga. Perfect, right? Love it. Then I do serving out. To be honest, I don't even know. And I mean, I don't really know why I run this card. I just have it in there just because I think it was just a filler. But I mean, its effect is during your play, either player turn, you can discard this card, then target one DD or dark contract you card you control, return to the hand. If you can only use this effect, so I mean, maybe if you don't have to Denark, you could just, it pretty much just bounces it right back to your head, right? I'll take it. I think it's pretty good. And again, this deck is completely old school, and it will be getting revamped. But this is the DANKLAW make you rage quit deck like Monarch. Excuse me, had a hiccups. I run one Murgeki just because. I run 3 Upstart for draw power. I run 1 Foolish Burial to send Necro to the graveyard, or Slime, because Slime, you could banish Slime itself, and you could special summon one monster from your head. 1 for 1 to get out your Servant, because you need to get your Search, which is your Dark Contract. I run 1 Modify, because this card will set you up for an instant King Yuga, or most likely could set you up with the instant King Caesar. Send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard, special summon 1 from your deck, much with the same type and attribute as a monster in the graveyard, but 1 level higher. You can activate this 1 per turn. So if you pitch a Leonidas to the graveyard, you can grab Transmodify to special summon a Ragnarok. Sorry, I couldn't get his name out. Special summon Ragnarok onto the field. Then you target King Leonidas, special summon him back on the field, and you're going straight damage power. And then if you have Dark Contract with the Swamp, or pretty much Dark Contract with the Swamp, boom, get right into King Caesar. And we'll get into his Big Daddy's effect right now. Lied. Haha. Then you run 3 Contract with the Gate. The reason why you run this is because this is your search. You can add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can only use this effect once per turn. So this lets you search your contracts and other monsters. So this is your searcher, right? So with this being your searcher, the next card, Dark Contract with the Swamp, is your fusion. So it's like it's a continuous polymerization. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fiend type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand field as materials. You can use this effect, once per turn. If summon a DD fusion monster this way, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion material. Once per turn, take 1,000 life points. I like Burial from Different Dimensions because target 3 banished monsters from 3 banished monsters return to your graveyard. Pretty much pulls all this back to your graveyard, and you could just continue to recycle and go as you need to, right? I used to run 3 Mass Change 2s, but because of the ban list, they're limited to 2. But pretty much you would pitch, discard 1 card, then target 1 face-up monster you control that has a level, send it to the graveyard. So you pretty much, after I'm done with my search for Kelp, because it's 0/0 and you don't want to take that hit, I would pitch Servant to the graveyard and discard Slime or Necro into the graveyard, and then I would special summon DANKLAW straight to the field. It's like instant first turn DANKLAW. That's why this deck is so amazing. Then you run 3 Storming Mirror Force, returns all attacking opponents' position monsters to the hand. Like that, just in case they're going to get over by monsters. 3 Strikes, 1 Call to Haunt, 1 Vanity's Emptiness, Dark Contract with Air. So let's talk about this, right? Okay. On your turn, you can have it activated so your opponent cannot activate trap effects, right? If you pay for it, like, okay, I'm going to keep it on the field. On your turn, you can, activate trap effects. Traps, or it can't be negated. Okay, cool. Doing what you gotta do, you can Solemn Strike them, and then when it gets to your turn, you can say, okay, now all traps are negated. You see how crazy that is? And then what, you're gonna pay 1,000 life points regardless, but all traps are negated. This card is great because traps are huge right now. Like, no, they can't Mirror Force you, they can't Trintle you, they can't Bottomless you, they can't do none of that because this stops it from happening. So, with all this being said, we've had these and stuff. All this being said, how does this deck work? Now, has a nice, simple movement rate. It doesn't take that, it's not that hard to understand, and its plays are not, its combos aren't that hard, because all you want to do is get Dark Law out. So I run 2 Dark Laws because you only have 2 mass changes. I run 3 to Narc, which instead of you taking life point, instead of you taking damage from your contracts, you gain it instead. I run Dragon Bait. I never used him. He's new, so I just added him in just because I kind of like, I don't know, I liked it. It says if a DD monster you control attacks with defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent once per turn during your standby phase. You can destroy all cards in the spell trap zone. It's kind of like a Yuga, but just not an XYZ. Yuga just negates everything on the field as well. This card is great. 2 DD monsters per turning attack is declared involving this card. You can target one other DD monster or dark contract control return to the hand. If you do equip one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card except the battling monster. This card gains attack equal to the combined original attack of the monster equipped to its effect. So pretty much this is like a Gradle. So you're gonna go and you're gonna attack it. No, actually more like a relinquish. You're gonna attack them. You're gonna take control. So say that you're gonna attack their lower monster, and they have decode talkers at 5600 or access code talkers at 5600. You could target access code talker and equip it to your card. So now not only is it 3200, so you have like a 9000 beater monster. So you have 8800 beater monster. Insane. Odd Eyes only because you run absolute for those reasons. Abyss Dweller to negate all graveyard effects for the churn. During player's turn, you detach it from this card. At the end of the battle phase, special summon one from your graveyard as many monsters this turn as possible. But during the next time phase, take 1000 damage for each monster. Special summon. So this is kind of a good card because one, you're gonna special summon everything on your from your field, but at the same time, you gotta hope you have Denark so you can just, it's like a soul charge in a monster. Marksman. If you have, it says card using rank 4 DD XYZ monsters you control as material justice monster, blah blah blah. Once per turn, during the player's turn, you could, if you took any effect damage this turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card, then target one face-up monster on the field, loses 1000 attack in defense, and if it does, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one DD or dark contract card from graveyard from the deck to the graveyard. Sorry, if this card goes to thing, you would just throw Slime or Necro into the graveyard, right? Then we run YUGIOH, which absolutely negates everything on the field, and it is a Harpy's Feather Duster at the same time. And more importantly, it's just dirty. It's a good card. It's dirty. But this is the basic of the DANKLAW deck. This is, you know, up and vamping, we're getting it going. I just want to give you guys a deck profile of it because I've been meaning to give you guys a deck profile of this this deck, and bring it back to life and show you guys like how fun this deck could be. If you guys did want to, you know, see the actual deck profile with the cards, it is like way back 3 years ago on our page. Bad quality, but you know, we all start somewhere. But I appreciate you all for watching. My name is Jake from Team Olympus. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll get back to you when I build this deck with all this ultra rares and stuff because it's expensive. But I will get back to you guys and give you guys full gameplay. Peace.